Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 307. Hope you're doing great and enjoying this summer so far. Not to rush anyone, of course, but one of the interviews this hour is about back to school tech ideas, the first of the year. But don't shoot the messenger, okay? Actually, if you're a parent and your kids are driving you crazy because they're bored, you may want them to go back to school already. But nonetheless, tech expert Mario Armstrong will join us later on in the show for some recommended picks for students, apps and gadgets, and some old school solutions as well to help out students of all ages. Our first interview, though, will be with a hot headphone brand from Sweden called Defunc. And we're going to learn about its wireless over-the-ear headphones called Mondo, which come in a transparent model, which is super cool. You can see the inner electronics on the ear cups. I wore a pair to and from Korea last week, and they do look and sound cool. Most importantly, they sound great. So we're going to call across the pond in a moment and chat about Mondo by Defunc. Also on the show today, do you have a dashboard camera yet for your vehicle? A dash cam? Well, we're going to chat with Nextbase about what to look for in a dash cam. What features are important in 2023 and which ones are not? And finally, we spoke with Verizon last week about its emergency preparedness and response technology and how they handle service for customers during natural disasters like hurricanes and such. And we were about to talk about 5G, but ran out of time. So we're going to play some of that at the end of this show today. If we have time today, I think we will, about the benefits of 5G if you haven't yet upgraded your phone and other devices yet, regardless of the carrier or provider you're with. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, or as my friends call it, ASUS, but it is ASUS. The company tells me it's pronounced ASUS. I'll tell you more about them shortly, but let's officially kick off this week's Tech It Out with our first interview. Leading Swedish audio brand Defunc is celebrating its launch of Mondo by Defunc on this side of the pond, which is billed as a first-of-its-kind transparent over-ear headphone designed to bring the studio or gaming experience straight to you. Joining us on the line all the way from Stockholm is Johan Wallbach. He is founder and CEO of Defunc. Welcome to the show, Johan. How are you?
Thank you so much. Well, I'm perfect. It's summertime in Sweden.
And music is something we love all year round, but there's something about listening to tunes in the summer that just brings it to the next level. Speaking of which, and before we talk about the Mondo headphones themselves, please tell us a bit about Defunc as a headphone brand. And for our listeners who want to look this up, Defunc is spelled D-E-F like Frank, U-N-C like Charlie.
I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I started my first company when I was 15. I got into the audio business back in 2010, starting up a brand called Urbanista. And then I started up a new brand with new vision, new ideas of what I wanted to do with the audio business. There's so many brands, so many models out there. So I wanted to give some clarity to the consumers. So I started up Defunc. And Defunc stands for design and function, which is very much of what Swedish design is all about. Combining great design with functionality. Defunc is the IKEA of audio or true wireless business.
With that in mind, tell us about Mondo.
I decided I wanted to move over to the over-ear and on-ear headphones and the Bluetooth speakers department of audio products. And basically there's three type of categories, price categories, so you can be successful in. It's either the entry level, the super premium, or what I define as the premium lifestyle segment. The entry level is completely unnecessary because most distributors and retailers have their own private label, and it's impossible to compete with them.
Okay.
The super premium, which is basically the Apple Max and Bose active noise cancellation.
Sure.
You really, really need a long-term history in order to persuade the customers to buy that product for that amount of money. But the premium lifestyle segment is basically where we are at with Mondo by Defunc. It's basically back in the old days, like 2010. It was the another Swedish brand called Urban Ears, which became super popular. And then you had Beats by Dre. The AirPods came, and I felt that there was a need and urge for a lot of, especially young people, to be able to identify themselves with a audio brand. And it's difficult with True Wireless because they're so small and you can't really make a point of who you are. So I wanted to create a premium lifestyle brand with over-ear, on-ear, and Bluetooth speakers, because that's the products that you carry around and show who you are.
So I'm looking at the Defunc website right now, Johan, and I see they are over ear, so they're a little bit larger. They're not earbuds. Let's just be clear to our listeners here. And that there's a few different designs, two colors, black and it looks like a cream. But on one of the black models, it has that, and I hinted at this off the top, this transparent casing over the cups.
It makes it stand out. People recognize it. It is a very important feature for us. I personally like it a lot.
So from an audio perspective, talk to us about the drivers, for those geeks out there listening who want to know sort of the speeds and feeds. Can you give us a brief overview of what we're talking about under the hood?
Well, I mean, we have dual drivers on the headphones, so it gives you a very good, clear mid-range and bass. It does deliver great sound quality, and that was basically the main point. So I brought in one of the biggest music management companies in Sweden. To become partner in the company, as well as one of the most credible, I would say, suburban youth lifestyle media companies in Sweden called Opus, into the company before we started. Every product that we deliver has been going through, one of the top, not only the top, but several top artists in Sweden that belongs to this record label company to basically approve the design, the function, the comfort, the audio quality of our products. And that is crazily important for us because we're not just creating a new brand that wants to be perceived something we were not. We want to be completely authentic. And the only way to do that is to bring in these people to be participating in the product development. And that's what we've done.
We're chatting with Johan Wallbach. He is founder and CEO of an audio company called Defunc, Defunc, based out of Stockholm, Sweden. They've got a new line of headphones, over-the-ear headphones called Mondo, just as it sounds, Mondo, including a transparent model, which is pretty cool. Now let's chat battery life. So these are Bluetooth headphones. How many hours can you get between charges? And can you use a cable if you want to, like you've got, a Nintendo Switch, and you want to preserve battery life? Can you plug it in?
Yes, we have the 3.5 millimeter plug that you can connect the headphones to, and we have 45 hours playtime with a maximum volume. The battery time is important.
Is there a integrated microphone? If you wirelessly pair it with a smartphone, you can take a call, and can that microphone also block out ambient noise?
Yes, that is basically what we have with the dual microphone.
All right. And then finally, before we talk price, Johan, talk to us about sustainability. I know that's an important pillar for the company.
It is. And it is for our company, but it's also even more so in Europe. Sustainability is more or less a must in order to be able to stay competitive.
Sure.
We made our choice, like we're going to go all ocean recyclable plastic with all of our True Wireless products. Starting from October, it's actually to do all ocean recyclable plastic by the beginning of 2024 when it comes to Mondo by Defunc as well. It's a nice thing to do. It's a great thing to do. Of course, there will be an increase of cost, but the value that you actually deliver is much, much more worth it. Again, going back to the competition, there's millions of different brands from China and Asia and everywhere. And you have to basically make your own stand, what you want to do with your brand.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going.
Tell us, how much do the Mondo by Defunc headphones cost, and where's the best place to learn more and buy them?
Yes, we sell them for $179. They are available at defunc.com as well as Urban Outfitters, starting from 1st of August.
Okay, so defunc.com, defunc.com to learn more. They're $179. Urban Outfitters is where to pick them up. For these over-the-ear, and super light, by the way, 275-gram over-the-ear headphones. We've been chatting with Johan Wallbach. He is the founder and CEO of the company based in Stockholm, Sweden. Thanks so much for your time, Johan. Have a great rest of your summer.
Well, thank you. And you too. Have a great summer.
As I mentioned, I did wear these Defunc headphones, these Mondo headphones by Defunc on my way to Korea and on the way back, streaming movies and TV shows on my iPad and using them on my laptop as well. Really good audio quality and really long battery life, as we heard from our guest. And they look super cool on top of it all. I mean, it's hard to stand out. There's so many headphone brands out there. And speaking of my laptop, of course, it was a ZenBook from Asus. They are the title sponsor on this program, so I want to give them a shout out. Tech It Out is powered by Asus. For those in search of incredible, Asus creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops, whether it is their ZenBooks, their most cutting-edge line, as well as their ROG or Republic of Gamers gaming laptops. There's VivoBooks. For sort of everyday laptop use, it's great for students, great color selection as well. There are Chromebooks for those looking to save some cash and embrace the Chrome OS platform. ExpertBooks are their business grade laptops with longer battery life, enhanced security, more durability. There are StudioBooks for content creators, also has a lot of power under the hood, and much more. So for those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. When we return on Tech It Out, have you purchased a dash cam yet, or are you ready for your next one? Well, we're going to chat with a company called Nextbase about their line, but more importantly, what to look for when shopping for a dashboard camera, regardless of the company you invest in. All right, so Nextbase will join us on Tech It Out when we return. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. As a tech journalist, it's not unusual for me to write articles like 5 things you should look for in your next dashboard camera, or dashcam for short. And so in my last piece, one of the companies I included was Nextbase. They were also on this program last year. And so I wanted to invite them back on to share info on what a dashcam shopper should look for today and to recommend some models as well. Joining us on the line is Jeff Chu, VP of Marketing at Nextbase. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for your time. Welcome back to the program.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me again.
Sure. Why don't we bring everyone up to speed first about what a dash cam is used for? What are the main applications?
Yeah, for the most basic purpose of a dash cam, it's there to protect you. A small investment in a dash cam potentially could save you thousands, potentially in insurance dollars, he said, she said claims. It's an extra eyewitness so that if someone were to hit you, you have the exact evidence of what happened. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video explains exactly what happens, especially if you have the audio.
Right. All right. So you said eyewitness. So this is a camera lens that is fixated to your windshield in most instances, facing forward. I know we'll get to some additions in a moment, but the idea is that it's a small camera that's always recording. And if it detects an incident, it locks that file. But otherwise, it just keeps rolling over itself. Depending on the storage you've got, after a couple of days, it may overwrite what it already recorded. But the idea is that if you ever needed it, you can grab that footage and show it to the authorities. And also, is it fair to say, Jeff, that for those who are pulled over by the police and they're concerned about any kind of interaction with them, that they can turn the dash cam around and also record that conversation?
Yeah, the audio is always recording. So you'll have the audio correspondence between the officer and yourself or whoever it may be. And then in most cases, the dash cameras always have a front-facing camera, but oftentimes you can have a cabin view camera. And with that, you have a front of what's happening in front of you, what's happening inside the car, what's happening on the side of the car with the interaction from the outside. So it does cover all your bases potentially.
Yeah. We'll get to some of those extras like a in-car camera, a rear camera, all that kind of stuff. But most dash cams are just the one camera lens facing forward, but sometimes it is on a swivel where you can't move it around. And even if you're not in the vehicle, Jeff, we'll talk about like parking mode, but you can also grab evidence of someone hitting your car in like, I don't know, a Costco parking lot or something, right?
100%.
Okay. So let's now talk about what to look for in a dash cam. It seems like whether you're shopping online or at retail, there's so many options out there. What are some of the features that you think are a must-have in 2023?
Yeah, there's so many dash cams out there, like you said, but not all dash cams are built equally. It's kind of like shopping for a car. You can buy a car that is $10,000 and has a 6-cylinder engine, or you can buy a $50,000 car. that has a six-cylinder engine and it's just tuned better. A dash cam is the exact same thing. It's all about the tuning and the quality of the image from a basic dash cam perspective. Just because it has 4K number of pixels does not mean that you're going to have a crisp and clear image. So when shopping for a dash cam, it's easy to shop for price. It's easy to shop at reviews. It's really about the tuning and the image quality that you're looking for the basics of a dash camera. And the purpose of that is you really want to be able to zoom in on what really happens, on license plates, on street signs, maybe on faces or what, is in the surrounding area. And especially at night, a lot of dash cams, they may look great in the daytime, but once it switches to night, a lot of dash cams are not using superior lens quality, great sensors. So it's really giving you a muddy image. And when it comes to a dash cam, it's really about the details and saving you the hassle of giving you the benefit of having the exact information of what went down versus having to guess or not have it at all.
Got it. And for power, in case our listeners are curious, it's always plugged into the vehicle, right? I mean, there's probably not a battery that can last very long by itself.
Correct. You wouldn't want a battery-powered dash cam like a GoPro or something like that, because the last thing you want is if you got in an accident and your dash cam died because the battery died, and then you got in the accident, then you wouldn't have the footage. So you'd always want it to be plugged in. And most dash cameras come in with a 12-volt cigarette lighter, so you're always recording. And then some of them have a hardwire kit as well. Nextbase specific does.
We used to call it a cigarette lighter. Remember that?
Yeah. I know, right?
Mine's plugged into USB, so that's an option often as well, depending on the model. And the benefit also, Jeff, if I may, is that when you start your vehicle, it starts recording right away, right? So it's nice and convenient.
Yeah.
So why Nextbase? I'm guessing that you use, superior cameras with better sensors to capture, everything you were just saying earlier.
Yeah. Why Nextbase? Because we only focus on dash cams, and we've been designing and creating dash cams for over a decade at this point. We are the global leader in dash cameras, most awarded and largest manufacturer of dash cameras. What that allows us to do is be really precise, accurate, and put all of our mind, energy, and love into building something that's quality and good and reliable. I think reliable is a key word here. A lot of folks who have tried dash cams in the past and just kind of rolled the dice on something that had good reviews probably has experienced less than reliable results or that muddy image quality that you'd experience. And with Nextbase, we actually have a facility called the Nextbase Labs in our home office country of Wales. And we have a team of over 100 engineers dedicated on just the engineering and design and the UX and software and firmware updates, constantly improving the product.
UX means user experience, just to bring everybody up to speed.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big piece of it. There's a lot of clunky designs when it comes to just accessing the dash cam's footage from the dash cam. But now with these newer dash cams that are Wi-Fi, Bluetooth enabled, there's an app involved as well. Yeah,
that's a good point. So the first generation of dashboard cameras or dash cams just recorded the footage and you couldn't see anything unless you took out the memory card and put it in a PC or a TV or something. The second gen had a little screen. They're made today as well. They have a little screen on the back so you can see what the dash cam is recording in real time. But the latest versions can also transmit that audio and video to a smartphone or to the cloud, so stored somewhere else so that you can access even more conveniently. We're going to continue chatting with Nextbase about what to look for in a dash cam when we return on Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We're chatting with Jeff Chu, VP of Marketing at Nextbase. This is one of the biggest dash cam companies in the world. We're learning about what features to look for when you're shopping for a dash cam this year. Products as well. With that in mind, just a heads up that we're not going to be giving out pricing on the air. You can head over to nextbase.com and look up some of these models because prices do fluctuate. So for pricing, make sure you check it out online or your favorite retailer. Check it out at Amazon or Best Buy. Before the break, Jeff, we were talking about how your models, many of them will synchronize with an app on a phone, and that footage can be viewed on a mobile device, which is a lot more convenient than looking at that small screen behind many of these dash cams today or having to pop out the memory card. Can you tell us a bit more about Nextbase's solutions?
Yeah, with Nextbase, we offer free cloud storage. And with the app that we have, not only can you see the data, go back into the telemetry and see how fast you're going, what direction you're going, some really key pieces of evidence for sharing with your insurance if you had that extra need for extra evidence of what really happened. But with the app, it's not all about doom and gloom also. You can stitch your videos together, you can edit, you can add titles, you can kind of create a short edit with our app, and you can actually do it on the camera itself as well. So that's kind of the creature comforts that we've designed in the dashcam.
Well, you just brought up another application for dash cams. It's for recreational viewing, right? It's kind of like you're on a family road trip through the mountains, right? And you want to relive that later on. There's some breathtaking footage captured on dash cams. It's not just about an incident or accident, right?
Yeah, content is king. Everyone for more content, and there's no better time. Like, I think we've all kind of been sucked into watching videos on YouTube or social media where you're watching crashes, but you're also watching what those funny weird things that the kids say that you can't script or you don't know when it's going to happen.
So let's hear about some of your models, Jeff. Let's hear what Nextbase has, and starting off with maybe because I'm a techie, I love sort of the feature-rich, higher-end offerings, but I know you have some entry-level ones too.
Yeah, starting off with the higher end techie stuff, we have the 622GW, which is our flagship model currently. And that one has won a ton of awards, Consumer Reports, Best Dashcam, Editor's Choice. It's incredibly feature rich. Of course, first and foremost, it records in crisp 4K footage, which means you're going to get the most detail, best image sensors, lenses, etc., so you can capture day and night driving. It's also compatible with our front and rear camera, so you can have that compatible rear camera, cabin view camera, or rear window camera, which we can elaborate on later. But it has image stabilization. It's the only dash cam in the world with image stabilization. So if you're going adventure driving, like we talked about, it's not about doom and gloom. You can go off-roading with it, get that really clean image stabilization. It has Alexa built in, so you have a hands-free assistant. So when you're driving, you can say, Alexa, map me to my next destination, text my mom, where did I park my car, all that stuff. It also has emergency SOS, and this is not exclusive to our top tier model. This is in multiple models, but it has emergency SOS. If you were to get in an incident and you're incapacitated, say a deer jumped out in front of you and he swerved off the road and no one saw it, you're in a ditch and you're incapacitated, the dash cam would know that you were in an accident and go through a series of steps to make sure that you're okay or not. If you're not, it'll automatically dispatch 911 to your exact location. And with the pre-input information on the app, the paramedics will arrive exactly knowing where you are because of the GPS information from your dash cam, which car to serve, is it a black car, is it a white car, what the license plate is, so they know exactly where to go. And then it'll also have your medical information, your blood type, allergies, things that are critical to saving your life. Because for us, it's all about getting help to you within the golden hour. If we can get you life-saving help within the golden hour, then the chances of you surviving go up exponentially.
Before we talk about more entry-level models, Jeff, so does your higher-end model allow you to be notified if someone hits your car, you're in, say, like a shopping mall, and someone hit your car, that you could be notified on your phone?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a thing called parking mode built into every one of our dash cameras. If someone does hit your car, the dash cam will wake up and automatically start recording. If you have the GW models, which is our mid to high end tier, you'll get a notification on your phone once you get into the car, notifying that there was an incident that happened and to check the footage. And with that, of course, you'll have the footage of the person hitting you or driving away as they hit you, so you can report that to the police. On the lower end models, entry level, if you will, it will automatically start recording, and you would have to go look at the footage independently to see what happened.
But it still records it, even though you're not in the vehicle and it's turned off. Okay, so let's hear more about those entry level models.
Yeah, the 122 or the 222 are really great entry-level dash cameras. They do everything that a dash cam needs to do and does it brilliantly with really crisp, clear recording, parking mode built in, and really convenient things that you wouldn't know that you really love until you got it, which would be like the Click and Go Pro mount, which is a magnetic mount we can remove and add back on with one hand because of its high-strength magnets. And one thing to add, all of our dash cams are crash tested. So the last thing that you want is to get in an accident. And with the suction cup mount on some of these dash cams, last thing that you'd want is a dash cam flying at your head because you got in an accident. All of our dash cams have a crash tested sticky pad. so that it will stay on the glass and protect you from anything potentially happening and capture what actually happened during the crash.
Before we wrap up, what about those who want both a camera that faces forward and one that faces backwards, like behind the vehicle? Or popular with rideshare drivers, a camera that faces forward, but also one that looks inside the cabin itself?
Yeah, the great thing about Nextbase is we have a unique system which allows you to choose what point of view you want looking out the back. You have three options: one out the back window, which is kind of the most popular, one in the cabin view, which is more rideshare Uber style, and then one which we call a rear zoom, which is almost like a point of view that you'd see through a rear view mirror. So through the back of the car, out the back window. But the great thing about that, it's modular. If you are a rideshare driver, you can swap between the window camera, and then you pick up a rider and put in the cabin view camera. It installs in literally under a second. Check us out at nextbase.com, and also check out our YouTube page and social pages. Some really fun content on the social side of things and some informative content on the YouTube page, which just search Nextbase.
Yeah, so Nextbase is simply one word, Nextbase. Our guest has been Jeff Chu, VP of Marketing at the company, based in beautiful San Francisco. Thanks so much for your time, Jeff. All the best. Have a great rest of your summer.
Thanks, Mark. You too.
Before we take a short break, did you know that shoppers are 3 times more likely to enter an unfamiliar store if it displays a Visa logo? And customers are 5 times more likely to think a merchant is reputable. This is because Visa has invested billions over the years in fraud prevention, so you don't need to think twice about shopping at retail or online with your Visa card. Visa is deploying advanced technology to ensure customer data is not vulnerable, no matter where the transactions take place. This includes tokens, pioneered by Visa as one part of the solution, which reduces the risk of identity theft because this technology replaces your cardholder info with a random alphanumeric code so that the merchant never sees your actual card number, yet ensures a fast transaction as well. To learn more about Visa's work in protecting you and your purchases, head over to visa.com/security. When we return on Tech It Out, we catch up with tech expert Mario Armstrong to talk back to school picks. Yep, it's that time. We'll be right back with more. Stick with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Yup, it's almost back to school time. Kids are likely rolling their eyes, but moms and dads may be kicking their heels. But how can you be sure you're ready to head back into the classroom? Well, thankfully for us, digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong is here with the scoop on the tech and school gear that will really help students and parents as we enter the new season. Hey Mario, good to chat with you again.
Hey Mark, it's always good to be on with you again. I can't believe kids are getting ready to go back to school, but I know parents are probably happy about this.
Exactly. Don't want to rush anyone. I know it's still early-ish August, but yeah, it is that time of year where students and in most cases their parents who are flipping the bill are shopping for back to school supplies and tech and such.
Yeah, it's true. And, you know, partnering up with some of these great brands to make sure that everybody is really prepared for the school year is a lot of fun, trying to think through like what are useful things that are really going to help students, but then also what are some things that can give them some peace of mind or relaxation or entertainment. So the first one I'm going to start with is something that every family needs, and that is the perfect family printer, of course, and that's the Epson EcoTank ET2850. It's really reliable, Mark. It prints high quality. It's easy to use for students and families. But what's really unique and what I most love about it is that it comes with a ridiculous amount of ink with this, and there are no cartridges. So for those of you that are listening, it has refillable ink tanks, which means your ink is, you're not running back to the store or looking to log on to try to order more ink to come in or dealing with the kid saying, the printer's out of ink. It just won't happen. The EcoTank 2850 features wireless printing. You also have scanning, copying, auto two-sided printing as well, and a lot of other features on it too.
Yeah, I love that. Out of the box, you get up to 2 years worth of ink or up to 5,000 pages before you need to buy more bottles. Love that.
Isn't that amazing? Like when you buy it, people, what he's saying is when you buy it, it comes with 2 years worth of ink already. So presentations, reports, photos, schedules, all of that stuff to be printed with ease.
For our listeners, pricing, by the way, will be on the website inthenews.tv. Mario is not going to go through them because they can fluctuate and it may depend on the retailer you're shopping at, and there are seasonal sales and so on and so forth. All right, so let's go from one Epson to another, Epic. Tell us about this app, Mario.
Well, Epic is really great because reading is so important, obviously, but you want to be able to have great access to it on multiple devices, and you want the largest digital library. So Epic has that for kids, with over 40,000 books, audiobooks, and learning videos for kids 12 and under. And you can find this on phones, tablets, and laptops. And parents can even track their kids' reading comprehension, which is great, and their reading progress. And teachers love that the learning tools of Epic really do boost the students' reading comprehension and get them to really have literacy at a faster rate. So you can also purchase a subscription for at-home use. And this fall, Mark, I don't know if you heard this, but they're announcing and launching Epic School Plus, which is really cool. It will enable schools to give students unlimited access outside of school hours. Wow. Mm-hmm. So they are really democratizing and making it so much more available to maybe people that may not always have the resources.
Good to see Epic is still around and growing with over 40,000 titles now. I wrote about that app many years ago for USA Today. Love it. All right, Mario. So let's go from making our kids smarter to making our homes smarter.
Smart homes always sneaking itself in all the time. It's because we're just evolving so much. And of course, one of the leaders in that space is Amazon, right? So I have an amazing solution for all your Amazon packages. It's called Amazon Key in Garage Delivery. It's really a convenient way to have your packages delivered inside your garage, safe from porch pirates or bad weather. It's free for Prime members. And once you set it up, you select in-garage delivery at checkout, and your package is the key. A driver scans it. They get a one-time code and verified access to deliver inside your garage. So you don't have to share any codes or keys or open a door or anything like that for them. It gives you a peace of mind that they'll take care of it and get your packages in your garage safely.
Yeah, Amazon Key in Garage is awesome, especially this time of year when we may be spending more time outside of the home. Kids are back to school. Parents may be working more full time than in the summer. So this way you are stopping those porch pirates in their tracks. All right, Mario, so let's go from outside the home to in the home.
For inside the home, Roku is obviously one of my favorites. I'm a big Roku fan, got plenty of them in my own house. So if you need to take a break from the school grind, the Roku Express 4K Plus is a perfect way to escape. You can stream your favorite shows, movies, rival sporting events, all of that stuff that you're used to doing. But you can also set the vibe in your room with a Roku Smart Light Strip Plus. You can place it behind your TV or across your ceiling and control it with your voice or through your TV. Oh, and my favorite feature, Mark, is the Bluetooth private listening, because that means I can listen and watch my TV without bothering my roommates.
All right, so that's the Roku branded sticks and boxes and TVs for streaming content. Great for after your homework, of course. And then there's also light strips, which is pretty cool. I've got 3 kids in college and they love these things in their dorm rooms and in their apartments. Very trendy.
Yeah, you can, come up with multiple color scenes, all types of different things that you can do with them. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it does accentuate the small spaces that many of the students are in.
We are chatting with digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong about tech that makes the grade, some recommended student tech for in the classroom as well as in a dorm room, and also some things to help make the home smarter as well. Why don't we end off, Mario, on something for student projects?
Which is really exciting. When I found out about this, I was like, wait, where have I been? This is the best thing for students to have. You got to have the right tools, Mark. And I love Pilot's Friction Line. I don't know if you tried one of these before, but it's the #1 selling erasable pen brand. So these are pens that are erasable. It's perfect for homework. So no matter how many changes you make, your paper is still going to look perfect. Go to inthenews.tv, inthenews.tv. If you have a question for me directly, shoot me on Instagram. Send me a DM. I'm at Mario Armstrong. Pretty easy to find.
All right, Mario. Always awesome to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time and have a great rest of your summer. Looking forward to chatting with you again soon.
You too, buddy. Have a great summer as well. See you soon.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Check It Out whenever you want.
As I mentioned earlier in the show, we spoke with Verizon's executive director for the wireless network in Florida. His name is Dave Macbeth. That was last weekend. We talked about emergency preparedness and deployment, like what happens in the event of a natural disaster, like a hurricane, and how do you ensure your cell phone reception is going to work for millions of people. But what we didn't get to last week was kind of just a 101 about 5G, if you're on the fence about upgrading your devices. So I just wanted to ask Dave about 5G, regardless of the carrier or provider you're with. So Dave, I'm assuming 5G, it's reliable and fast enough to help service customers in the event of a hurricane, regardless of which phone they've got. Is that fair? And could you maybe just take a step back and explain what 5G is all about, sort of at a high level?
Yeah, sure. The 5G has become not only a component in recovery, but it's also provided, especially the first responder team, right, with a lot more bandwidth and capability, and also latency in terms of how fast our applications can operate in times like this. So much more real time as opposed to latency that lasts longer on some of the 4G or prior networks, 3G, et cetera. And it also provides much more bandwidth. So we can do video, we can do many more things on demand that we couldn't do before. And the other big opportunity that 5G is bringing is the amount of customers that can be served out of a single area is multiplied by a very large number given the bandwidth that 5G brings to bear.
Yeah, Dave, you've brought up some great examples of why 5G is superior to its predecessors. One is faster speeds with your devices over this faster network. Two is lower latency. So the time it takes for getting a response to, say, an app or something that you're tapping on your device. Number three is better population density. It can support more bandwidth in a smaller space with more people than previous generations. So without question, these can be very helpful, if not critical, during an emergency situation. We are chatting with Dave Macbeth, Executive Director at Verizon for the wireless network in the state of Florida. They're hosting an event today in Plant City, showcasing some of their emergency preparedness technology and emergency response technologies as well. When it comes to 5G, what's Verizon's coverage like in the country?
We have coverage that exceeds 200 million customers across the nation. I will say that specifically in Florida, we've, in the last 2 years, put up thousands of cell sites that have 5G, both millimeter wave as well as our C-band coverage that provided a lot more density across the state. In fact, in many areas now, we have more traffic on 5G than we do on our older network.
Oh, it is backward compatible though, right? Like if you're in an area that does not yet have 5G, then your phone will default to 4G.
Correct.
And Dave, 5G also works with those portable hotspots as well. Like if you have like a cottage, a cabin, that kind of thing, and you don't have internet at home, you may buy or rent a 5G box. All right, so a pretty packed show today. We started off talking about Mondo by Defunc, those Swedish headphones that are transparent. Then we talked about what to look for when shopping for a dash cam, a dashboard camera. From Nextbase, Mario Armstrong, tech expert, joined us for some back-to-school suggestions. And then we just had a little bit of a 5G 101 with Verizon to finish off from last week's interview when I was in Korea. So very busy. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you do like it, please leave a review or a rating on your favorite podcast platform. If you're listening to this on the radio, you can do a web search for Tech It Out and my name, Mark Saltzman, MarcSaltzman, and send me a note on social media, forward it to a friend, shoot me an email if you have any tech questions, anything like that. If you are on social media, let me know where you're tuning into the show from and how your summer is going. Feel free to share some pics as well. Love connecting with listeners. My name again is Mark Saltzman, MarcSaltzman, and I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. Whew. So pick your poison. Let me know what you think of Tech It Out, or you have suggestions for upcoming guests or topics, or if you just want to follow me on social media. I do post videos. I post links, of course, to articles that I write for USA Today, Costco Connection, AARP, Reader's Digest, and many more. I also post, of course, radio and podcast interviews like the ones you've heard this hour. So it'd be great to connect with you on social media. I got a lot of comments last week on a video I posted on how to take a photo of a document using your iPhone and then signing it with your finger. Maybe you've got a waiver or something that you need to sign. I don't know, your kids are doing some, swimming lessons or something. Then instead of having to print it, sign it, scan it, and then send it off, you can just take a picture with your phone, sign it with your finger, and send it off to the person who sent it to you. Easy peasy. Oh, and people ask me for non-iPhone tips. Yes, I know there are many Samsung Galaxy owners, for example. So here's a fun one. If you're doing a selfie or even just taking a regular photo with a Samsung phone, instead of having to tap the shutter button and then your arm is in the way, just wave to the camera when you're ready for the photo to be taken, and it'll count it down by a couple of seconds. And that's the automatic shutter baked into Samsung Galaxy smartphones. Wow, right? Cool. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, everyone. Hope your August is starting off great, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend, for yet another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now. Ciao.